The CIA tried every illegal method for 10 years to find the world's most wanted man, and no one would ever learn the true cost. On the morning of September 12, 2001, alarm bells were ringing in CIA Director George Tenet's office. Yesterday's catastrophe was the biggest terrorist attack in American history, and now it was time for retaliation. Tenet was hunched over his desk, looking at the file he held, Osama bin Laden, al-Qaeda leader. The file was almost empty, but the truly shocking thing was, this file was actually completely empty. The CIA knew virtually nothing about the man who had shaken the world. 19 people had hijacked 4 planes, destroyed the Twin Towers, hit the Pentagon, and killed 3,000 innocent people. So how had America's most powerful intelligence organization remained so blind? The answer was simple. They had never felt the need to look. President George W. Bush's order was clear. Get bin Laden dead or alive, preferably dead. From that moment, the CIA's greatest obsession began. This is where everything changed, because America's secret government operations would no longer be bound by any rules. The Geneva Convention, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, America's own Constitution, none of these mattered anymore. An emergency meeting was called at CIA headquarters in Langley. The 34-year-old female analyst, codenamed Maya, who worked at the Counterterrorism Center, was the only woman attending this meeting. She had specialized in Pakistan and Afghanistan for years. A Brown University graduate with an IQ over 160, she spoke 6 languages. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. Maya's obsession would drive her to chase a single target for 10 years and nearly drive her insane. CIA Deputy Director James Pavitt made a shocking announcement at the meeting. We're taking the gloves off. Enhanced interrogation techniques are authorized. In other words, torture. The 47 people in the room listened in silence. America had reached the point of ignoring its own values. What Maya thought at that moment was, what difference is left between us and the terrorists? Wait, don't miss this detail. Enhanced interrogation was actually the CIA's euphemistic term for torture. Waterboarding, prolonged standing, sexual humiliation, psychological pressure, sleep deprivation, extremely cold or hot rooms, interrogation for more than 180 continuous hours. All of these would now be considered legal. Pentagon lawyers had defined these as advanced interrogation techniques in a 78-page report. Maya, returning home that day, couldn't get this out of her mind. She was an analyst, a desk worker, but now she was being assigned to watch torture sessions. What you're seeing now is nothing, because the network of secret prisons the CIA would establish would rival Nazi camps, and Maya would become one of the architects of this system. In early 2002, the first al-Qaeda member captured at Guantanamo Base in Cuba was Abu Zubaydah. The CIA believed they could learn bin Laden's location from him. You won't believe this. Abu Zubaydah wasn't even an important al-Qaeda member. He just ran a guest house in Afghanistan. He was an accountant, not a fighter. Maya was the first female CIA agent to enter a torture chamber. What she saw would haunt her for life. Abu Zubaydah had been stuffed into a 2-by-2-meter box and subjected to waterboarding 180 times. There was no expression left in his eyes. Once a healthy 37-year-old man, he now looked like an aged child. But the truly shocking thing was, no one was even asking him about bin Laden's location. They were just trying to make him talk. Torture psychologist James Mitchell turned to Maya and said, "This man knows nothing, but that's how the system works. We'll make someone talk so the others will be afraid. This is psychological warfare." Maya realized at that moment that she had become part of a terror machine, not a justice system. Mitchell's salary was $1,800 per day. He was becoming a millionaire by torturing people. When they thought it was over, the only information obtained from Abu Zubaydah was about a courier with the alias Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. This name would be the only clue leading to bin Laden 10 years later. Here comes the most important part. But Maya couldn't understand its importance at that moment, because the CIA was receiving 50 to 60 different names daily at that time, and it was impossible to track them all. The CIA's secret prisons had now spread to 54 countries. These places, called black sites, showed America's darkest side ever. In Poland, Romania, Thailand, Lithuania, Morocco, everywhere people were being tortured, human rights were being violated. CIA agents operating these centers received salaries of $25,000 per month. According to Maya's reports, approximately 3,000 people were kidnapped and held in secret prisons by the CIA during that period. What they didn't know yet, 83% of these were innocent people. They had just been in the wrong place at the wrong time, or someone had reported them. The CIA paid $5,000 reward per tip, and this system was heavily abused. You won't believe this. Maya felt deep regret for being part of this system but couldn't quit, because her obsession with finding bin Laden was stronger than everything else, so strong that she wouldn't be able to think about anything else for 10 years. In 2004, Maya obtained the first concrete clue about Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti. A captured al-Qaeda member named Hassan Gul said this person was bin Laden's most trusted courier. What you're seeing now is nothing because Abu Ahmed worked so secretly that even his own family didn't know his real job. The family thought he was an ordinary businessman working in Kuwait. Maya's office now contained only the Abu Ahmed file. The walls were covered with photographs, maps, and connection diagrams. Her colleagues had started calling her the courier crazy. Maya worked 18 hours a day, going home only once a week. But the truly shocking thing was, Maya was almost fired because of this obsession. Her superiors had referred her for psychological treatment. In 2005, the CIA received a major shock. Abu Ahmed's real name was identified: Ibrahim Saeed Ahmed Abdalhamid al-Balochi. He was born in Pakistan and had lived in Kuwait. Born in 1974, married, father of 3 children. This is where everything changed, because this meant he could be hiding in Pakistan, and Pakistan was an American ally. Theoretically, Maya requested a transfer to the CIA station in Pakistan. Her supervisor, Jonathan Bank, strongly opposed this. "You're an analyst, not a field agent. Pakistan is very dangerous." But Maya insisted. She even risked resignation. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. Maya's going to Pakistan would change the fate of the operation, because there was a world of difference between desk analysis and field work. The CIA's biggest problem in Pakistan was the local intelligence organization, ISI. Inter-Services Intelligence was both the CIA's partner and secretly supporting the Taliban. ISI's annual budget was $2.8 billion, and 40% of this was funded by the CIA. You won't believe this. Many ISI members knew where bin Laden was, but weren't telling the CIA, because bin Laden was a valuable asset for Pakistan. When Maya arrived at the CIA base in Islamabad, a cold reception awaited her. Field agents didn't like desk analysts, especially female ones. Women's freedom of movement was very limited in Pakistan. Wait, don't miss this detail. Maya's presence here would turn the entire operation upside down, because she was now working in practice, not theory. But the truly shocking thing was this. When Maya came to Pakistan, she learned that 31 of the CIA's 47 agents in Pakistan were double agents. That is, they worked for both the CIA and ISI. Maya had only 16 people she could trust, and she wasn't even sure about them. In 2007, Maya designed the CIA's most controversial operation, a fake vaccination campaign. She convinced a Pakistani doctor named Dr. Shakil Afridi to work for the CIA. Afridi was a graduate of Khyber Medical College, a respected doctor. But the truly shocking thing was, this operation would destroy real health services in Pakistan. And Maya knew this. The plan was this. Dr. Afridi would enter Abu Ahmed's family's home under the pretext of giving hepatitis B vaccinations, take blood samples from them, and search for kinship ties with bin Laden through DNA analysis. When presenting this plan, Maya said these words to the CIA station chief: "It might be morally wrong, but this is the only way to find bin Laden." This is the critical moment. Maya couldn't fully grasp how dangerous this plan was. Dr. Afridi's first attempt failed. No one was at the family's house. The family had temporarily moved to Peshawar. When they thought it was over, during the second attempt, the house guard found the doctor suspicious and reported him to ISI. The operation was almost exposed. Maya was in panic. This was their only lead, and they were losing it. What they didn't know yet, Abu Ahmed had actually already moved to the villa in Abbottabad, and was living with bin Laden. This transfer had taken place in 2005, and the CIA had no idea. The fake vaccination campaign finally succeeded, but the results were disastrous. The Pakistani people no longer trusted any vaccination campaigns. According to World Health Organization reports, vaccine rejection rates in Pakistan increased by 67% due to this operation. Here comes the most important part. Thousands of children were deprived of real vaccines due to this operation, and polio cases increased by 343%. Maya's conscience was heavy, but there was no turning back. Maya sent the DNA samples she obtained to laboratories in Langley. The analysis took 3 weeks. The result was positive. This family was related to bin Laden. 96% genetic similarity was detected. What you're seeing now is nothing, because now they just needed to follow them. When they found Abu Ahmed, they would find bin Laden too. You won't believe this. Dr. Afridi only received $150,000. The damage to Pakistan's health system was billions of dollars. When Maya thought about this imbalance, she couldn't sleep at night. In August 2010, the CIA's long surveillance paid off. Abu Ahmed was detected entering a luxury villa in Abbottabad city. Maya felt her heart racing as she examined the satellite images. You won't believe this. This villa was only 800 meters from Pakistan's most prestigious military academy, Kakul. It was as if bin Laden was hiding right under the Pakistani army's nose. The villa was completely abnormal. 3.5-meter high walls, 70 centimeters barbed wire on top, a third floor with no windows, a hidden balcony. It consisted of 2 separate buildings and covered 38,000 square meters. But the truly shocking thing was, the villa was worth around $1.2 million. But it was unclear where Abu Ahmed got this money from. He was officially unemployed. Maya ran to CIA Station Chief Jessica Matthews. "We found him. Bin Laden is there." But Matthews couldn't believe Maya. "It's just a villa. What's your definitive proof? Maybe it's just a rich businessman's house." Maya's only evidence was her intuition and 6 years of obsession. This is where everything changed, because the CIA was now moving to the evidence-gathering phase. The CIA established a secret base 1.2 kilometers from the villa. From this place, disguised as a Pakistan Telecom technical house, 24-hour surveillance began. 12 agents were on constant watch. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. The walking pattern of the tall man strolling in the villa's garden resembled bin Laden's. Same tempo, same posture. The person nicknamed the Pacer took walks in the garden every day between 4:45 p.m. CIA analyst calculated his height-weight ratio, 1.93 to 1.96 centimeters, 75 to 80 kcal. Thin build. Wait, don't miss this detail. Bin Laden's height-weight measurements matched these exactly. Last measurements taken in 1994, 1.95 centimeters, 78 kcal, but there was no definitive proof. CIA Director Leon Panetta asked Maya this question: "How much would you bet? Your career, your life, everything?" Maya's answer was clear: 95% chance out of 100 that he's there. "If I'm wrong, I'll resign." What you're seeing now is nothing, because this decision could destroy America's relations with Pakistan. But what Maya didn't know was this. Actually, 22 people lived inside the villa. Bin Laden's 3 wives, 17 children and grandchildren, Abu Ahmed's family. All intelligence activities were being conducted unnoticed by so many people. In March 2011, President Barack Obama called for a CIA briefing in the Oval Office. Leon Panetta presented Maya's findings. Obama's expression was serious, but the truly shocking thing was, this decision would determine the future of Obama's presidency. If they were wrong, he could lose the 2012 elections. The options were on the table. First, flatten the villa with B-2 bombing. Cost, $60 million. Second, Navy SEAL operation. Cost, $10 million, but very high risk. Obama found both options risky. This is the critical moment. Defense Secretary Robert Gates intervened. Gates's concern was clear. If we're wrong, our relations with Pakistan will end. Also, there might be innocent civilians in that villa. 22 people live there. Obama nodded. This reminded him of Carter's hostage rescue operation in Iran. When they thought it was over, new intelligence came from the CIA. 22 people definitely lived in the villa, and most were children. Obama organized a National Security Council meeting. Participants: Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, Leon Panetta. Biden was against the operation. "This is too risky. We'll lose Pakistan," he said. Hillary Clinton, however, supported the operation. "We can't miss this opportunity. Bin Laden has aged, weakened. We might not get another chance like this," she said. Gates remained in the middle. Panetta was definitely pro-operation. Obama thought for 2 days. Here comes the most important part. On April 29, he made his final decision. CL operation approved, but no harm will come to any civilians. CL Team 6 Commander Admiral William McRaven presented the operation plan. Codename Operation Neptune Spear. 2 Black Hawk helicopters would violate Pakistani airspace at night. CLs would raid the villa and return within 40 minutes. You won't believe this. This was technically a declaration of war against Pakistan. Sovereignty violation, contrary to Article 51 of the UN Charter. What you're seeing now is nothing. Obama would be joking at the White House Correspondents' Dinner during the operation. It was perfect cover. May 1, 2011, 11 p.m. Jalalabad, Afghanistan. 2 Black Hawk helicopters, call sign Chalk 1, Chalk 2, and 1 Chinook helicopter took off. 25 elite soldiers from CL Team 6 began the operation that would change the world. Commander Lieutenant Commander Rob O'Neill. What you're seeing now is nothing, because everything would go wrong during this operation. In the White House Situation Room, Obama, Biden, Clinton, Panetta, and 16 other senior officials were watching the live feed. Everyone's face was pale with tension. Obama had only a glass of water in front of him. But the truly shocking thing was, Obama didn't speak that night. He just watched. He kept thinking, what if we're wrong? At 0030, the helicopters entered Abbottabad airspace. The radar operator asked his commander, "Should I intervene?" "Commander, no. Wait. This is where everything changed, because Pakistan either really didn't know or knew but remained silent. When the first Black Hawk approached the villa, it encountered an unexpected problem. The villa's high walls created a vortex ring state by cutting the air from the helicopter's rotors. The helicopter lost control and crashed into the villa's garden. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet. Pilot Chief Warrant Officer 4 Mikey maneuvered at the last moment to prevent the helicopter from exploding. This move saved his life. The SEAL team leader radioed the White House, "Chalk 1 down, but we're proceeding with the mission." Obama's face became even more tense. Clinton put her hand to her mouth. "Wait, don't miss this detail. There was no turning back now. They had to finish the job before Pakistani soldiers arrived. The nearest military base was 7 kilometers away. SEALs surrounded the villa. The first person they encountered was the guard in the garden, Abu Ahmed's brother Abrar. He was shot in the back while trying to run to the door. When they thought it was over, sounds of fighting rose from inside. Bin Laden's son Khalid was running down the stairs. "Americans," he was shouting, "you won't believe this." At that moment, there was complete chaos inside the villa. Women were screaming, children were crying, men were trying to escape. SEALs were shouting in English, "Get down, get down." SEAL team leader Robert O'Neill felt his heart racing as he climbed the stairs to the 2nd floor. Below him lay the body of Khalid bin Laden. He was 23 years old, a medical student. You won't believe this. Upstairs, bin Laden was trying to hide behind his 2 wives, Amal and Seham. Following the voice of Amal shouting "Osama, Osama," a tall figure appeared. O'Neill didn't hesitate. The first bullet hit bin Laden in the chest. But the truly shocking thing was, bin Laden was unarmed. He had no weapon in his hands. He was just reading the Quran. The second bullet hit the center of his forehead. Osama bin Laden, age 54, died at the end of a 10-year hunt. Time, 01:15. This is the critical moment. The SEAL team spokesman radioed the White House. "For God and country, Geronimo E. Kaya." Geronimo killed in action. Silence reigned in the White House. Even Obama couldn't speak. Hillary Clinton covered her mouth. Biden took a deep breath. Panetta said, "We got him." What they didn't know yet, how massive the consequences of this operation would be. SEALs brought bin Laden's body to the 2nd floor. They took photographs for definitive identification, collected DNA samples, height 1.95 centimeters, weight 77 kg. Scar check was performed. The old bomb scar on his left leg was detected. This was definitive proof. Here comes the most important part. At the same time, they collected intelligence materials like computers, hard drives, USB drives, DVDs, floppy disks. Total data, 470 gigabyte. The 25-minute operation was over. The damaged Black Hawk was blown up. SEALs left with bin Laden's body in the intact helicopter. What you're seeing now is nothing because the real crisis was just beginning. Diplomatic relations with Pakistan were about to collapse, and Maya had won the greatest victory of her life, but she didn't yet know the cost. You won't believe this. That night, 3 men died in the villa: Bin Laden, his son Khalid, and Abu Ahmed's brother Abrar. 17 people survived. No civilians were harmed. Obama's order had been carried out. On the morning of May 20, Pakistani Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani made a statement on television. Pakistan's sovereignty rights have been violated. This is unacceptable. But the truly shocking thing was, Pakistan actually knew about the operation beforehand. CIA secret documents later revealed, at least 3 senior officials of Pakistan's intelligence ISI knew about the operation. ISI Director General Ahmed Shuja Pasha had called CIA Director Panetta on the evening of May. "Will something happen tomorrow?" he had asked. Panetta had said, "I don't know." This is where everything changed. Pakistan was blaming the US to appear innocent. In return, they had received a $33 billion military aid package. Dr. Shakil Afridi was arrested by Pakistan for the fake vaccination campaign. He received a 33-year prison sentence, charged treason against Pakistan. The CIA tried to save him but failed. You won't believe this. America proved it couldn't protect its helpers. Afridi's salary was cut. His family was threatened. Anti-American demonstrations began in Pakistan. US flags were burned. America Go Home slogans were chanted. Thousands took to the streets in Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet, but all this anger was fake. The Pakistani government was secretly continuing cooperation with the US. The demonstrations were organized by the state. Bin Laden's body was buried at sea from the USS Carl Vinson with Islamic rites. It was washed, shrouded, and prayers were said according to Islamic rules. Coordinates 24-57 un, 62-57. Wait, don't miss this detail. Even this decision was strategic. Since the burial site was unknown, no martyr cult could form. Maya was celebrating the operation's success, not knowing her career would end here. The CIA promoted her but didn't allow her to work in the field. "You're too valuable, we can't put you at risk," they said. What you're seeing now is nothing, because Maya was now too valuable and couldn't be put at risk. But she wanted to work in the field. But the truly shocking thing was this: Maya fell into severe depression after the operation. Her 10-year obsession had ended, and there was a huge void in her life. She received psychological treatment, because she had gotten revenge but wasn't happy. In 2013, 15 members of SEAL Team 6 died in a Chinook helicopter crash in Afghanistan. Among them were 3 SEALs who had participated in the Bin Laden operation. But the truly shocking thing was, it wasn't an accident but a Taliban attack, and conspiracy theorists claimed this wasn't an accident. They were killed for silence, they said. Maya retired from the CIA in 2014. Her real identity was never revealed. She was portrayed by Jessica Chastain in the Hollywood movie Zero Dark 30. But her real name is still secret. The woman who searched for Bin Laden for years now lives in silence in Virginia. This is where everything changed, because Maya had learned the true cost of the operation. The cost of the 10-year hunt was this: $3 trillion in spending, 500,000 civilian deaths, thousands tortured, secret prisons in 54 countries, 2,977 CIA agents diagnosed with PTSD. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet, and none of this was officially acknowledged. The Pentagon defined them as operational losses. Dr. Shakil Afridi is still in Pakistani prison. The CIA forgot him. Due to the fake vaccination campaign, polio cases in Pakistan increased by 343%. Between 2011 and 2015, 1,247 children were disabled. You won't believe this. Thousands of children were disabled because of the Bin Laden operation, and Maya knows this. The villa in Abbottabad was demolished in 20. Pakistan turned it into a children's park. But the surveillance system the CIA established in that villa is still active, because now they're looking for new targets there. Here comes the most important part. Because the hunt never ends, only the targets change. Now the target is ISIS leader al-Baghdadi. Obama considers that night's operation the greatest success of his presidency. He won the 2012 elections because of this. But questions remain. Did Pakistan really not know? Why was Bin Laden shot when he was unarmed? Why was the body thrown into the sea? These questions were never answered. The real purpose of America's secret government operations wasn't to find Bin Laden. It was to intimidate the world. You play by our rules. This message was received. No country now dares to challenge America. What you're seeing now is nothing because new targets have already been identified. The CIA's latest intelligence report said New target identified. Operation being planned. New analyst Jennifer Lynch, assigned to replace Maya, has started duty. When they thought it was over, the new hunt had already begun. Target: Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander Qasem Soleimani. And this operation was also successful. He was killed in 2020. Maya still works as a CIA consultant and is currently pursuing a new target. We'll never know who it is, because America's secret government operations never end. The last information on the phone said, target identified, tracking begun, awaiting approval. Maya now has a new file on her desk. It reads, Xi Jinping, Chinese Communist Party General Secretary. Who is the new Bin Laden? We may never know. But Maya might be finding him. Right now, because the hunt never ends. Only the prey changes. And Maya is the best hunter. She found Bin Laden in 10 years. Now it's Chinese leader Xi Jinping's turn. You won't believe this. Maya is now learning Chinese. Because the next target is in Beijing. The final truth is this. Bin Laden died, but Al-Qaeda didn't end. ISIS was born. The Taliban returned. Afghanistan was lost. Was the 20-year war in vain? Maya sometimes thinks about this and can't sleep at night. Because they killed 500,000 innocent Muslims to avenge 3,000 innocent Americans. Was this justice? Maya's conscience still weighs heavy. But she continues to pursue new targets. Because this is her job. America's secret government operations never end.